Hello, my name is Collier. I am a health educator here in Moldova. This is my second year. I will be COSing July 15th, 2016. I'd like to enter my story, Gogoasa. It's a common folk tale here in Moldova. Gogoasa literally means donut. The story is about a donut who once lived in a forest and he could talk. And during our excursion this year in Moldova, we visited 4 libraries, and this is one of the books we read, in Romanian, of course, to our children. It was about a story about a donut who could talk, and every time he'd run into a predator, someone who wanted to eat him, he'd basically run from the predator until finally he came upon a predator he couldn't outfox, for lack of a better way to say it. In the course of telling the story, we would either use gestures or basically point to something that would lead our students into knowing what line they should follow or what line they should say in unison in order to kind of follow along with the story. The main line of the story is, "And I will escape from you too." And for instance, if I'd point to my nose, the children would know that they would say that line in unison as to be interacting with the story. The story begins like this. There once was an old man and an old woman who lived in a forest. One day, the old man asked the old woman to make a donut, but the woman didn't have any flour. She finally scraped up 2 fistfuls of flour from the bottom of a crate. She kneaded it with some cream, and she turned on the oven, and she put the dough on top of a windowsill in order for it to rise. After some time, she then put it in the oven, and then removed it from the oven once it was cooked, and put it back on the windowsill for it to cool. More time passed, and eventually the donut fell from the windowsill and rolled into the door, crossed the threshold, and rolled further towards the gate and walked into the road. It began to roll further down the road, and out comes a rabbit. The rabbit is really hungry, but the gogoasa, or the donut, without fear began to sing. "I'm a fragrant donut, cooked from white flour, gathered from a chest, mixed with cream, risen from in a window, and baked in an oven. I escaped from the old woman, I escaped from the old man, and rabbit, you must know, I will escape from you too." So the donut rolled farther down the road, farther and farther down the road, and he runs into a wolf with a mouth the size of a barn. The wolf says, "I'm hungry, I'm going to swallow you." Says the donut. With no fear, he sings, "I'm a fragrant donut, cooked from white flour, gathered from a chest, mixed with cream, risen in a window, and baked in an oven. I escaped from the old woman, I escaped from the old man, I escaped from the rabbit, and Mr. Wolf, I will escape from you too." So he travels farther, farther and farther away down into a bear that was really, really hungry. The bear goes, "I'm going to eat you. I'm really, really hungry." But Mr. Gogoasa, the donut, with no fear, sings, "I'm a fragrant donut, cooked from white flour, gathered from a chest, mixed with cream, risen in a window, baked in an oven. I escaped from the old woman, I escaped from the old man, I escaped from a rabbit, I escaped from a wolf, and old Bear Martine, I will escape from you too." So Mr. Donut rolls farther and farther and farther down the road under the bear's nose and escapes the bear as well, until he finally comes into contact with a fox. So in she comes, Miss Live Fox introduces herself, and she praises the smell and beauty of the donut, and she and he sing the song together. I'm a fragrant donut, cooked from white flour, gathered from a chest, mixed with cream, risen in a window, and baked in an oven. I escaped from the old woman, I escaped from the old man, I escaped from the rabbit, I escaped from a wolf, and I escaped from old Bear Martine. She said, "Oh my gosh, your song is so beautiful, but I can't hear very well. Oh my goodness, can you sing it again?" So unsuspecting Mr. Donut begins his song again. I'm afraid, but she hops in Lima Ramona, or she gulps in English, and swallows the donut. And that is the end of Gogoasa. Thanks for listening from Moldova.